open.
Good day, everyone. So before we start, please stand for a prayer. Badaluna, please lead the prayer.
Let's pray. Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
So, good day everyone. Before you sit down, kindly arrange your chair inside. In a count of 10, 1, 2, side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And kindly gather around center. So, before anything else, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Wake up. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Before we start to our activity, let us introduce ourselves, your instructor for today. So my name is Ms. Pagraman, and together with my group,
I am Christian Dave Langan.
I am Mr. Clarence Rigo.
I am Berwin Yolanda.
I am Arnold Robert Jr. And I am Jacob Dilabao.
So, before we delve into our main topic or main lesson, we will present to you a short video presentation.
So while we're waiting for the video to be presented, you may now center down yourself. You can see
Patterns. Patterns are found in nature, just like this flower that shows proper patterns. Fractals are persistent patterns which are self-similar across different scales. This means that zooming in the lens onto the object's digital image, it does not provide specifics of the picture, but just the same as the original image. This one is an example of a spiral pattern. Spirals are curved patterns gathered around a single point by series of circular shapes. And when we look to the sky, we can figure out that there is also a pattern, and that is what we call Doric patterns. Doric patterns are basic patterns generated from underlying optical behavior. Unlike Mach concept that relates to tutorial chaos, the Doric pattern is used to define a sort of order that runs predictable. Symmetry. Symmetry is often found also in nature. Waves, flowers, and plants. Nature also provides examples of symmetry in faces and bodies of animals and other living things. Symmetry is also found in any man-made object such as windmill, flag, sculpture, cars, even eyeglasses. Symmetry can also be found in many different types of architecture. Measurement. Precise measurements are necessary to build things such as houses and buildings. Use measurements when cooking and baking, and also to determine the right number of servings we should have from each food group each day. Estimation. Use estimation skills to figure out how many things there are in these pictures. We should also estimate to figure out how many people are in these events. Money. Money skills are very important. Did you know if you receive the right amount of change or the right amount of money from the ATM? Money skills are also important when shopping, whether it's for groceries, or clothes, or determining sale prices. Problem solving. The most important thing that math can do is to help us solve problems in a way. The help of statistics and research, scientists analyze data and formulate possible solutions to this problem.
Math is indeed everywhere. That's how mathematics operates in the world. That's all for now. Thank you for watching and God bless.
Great. That's video.
Okay, now we will proceed to our activity, which is the
But before that, what was the video discussion about? As you can see, that it is all about patterns and how it was applied in our daily life. And now, let us proceed to the activity, which is
now we will proceed to the activity, which is the where's the bomb. So everyone kindly read the instructions.
Facilitator will count from 1 to 3 and then announce the bomb's location. Students in the announced location will then be questions by the facilitator based on the video presented.
So I know most of you are familiar with the game Ang Bumba Nibuto sa Japan. So I know that game will be incorporated in this activity and with a twist. And those I will be counting from 1 to 3, and then I will announce the bounce location. And those students who are in that location will answer the question from the facilitator. And now, kindly all stand up. And please, strictly no changing position or country. Yes.
For there
Any
is the
clarification?
confusion here, sir. Pwede ba namin pabalik ang mechanics?
The mechanics are the. I will turn my back from you, and then I will count from 1 to 3, and then after the count of 3, I will announce the location of the bomb. So when I turn my back, you will go from different countries, which the facilitators position. So after I announce the bomb's location, those students in that location will answer the facilitator's question. Any clarification or chemical reaction?
No.
So, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes? They will be questioned by the facilitator. As long as the students who are in that place will be answered by the facilitator. Any clarifications? Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The bomb explodes in India. Okay. Please come forward, Mr. Amores and Mr. Isan. So the question is, what have you observed from the video, Mr. Isan?
Based on the video presented, so it was talk about math is everywhere, especially in calculating time, fulfilling time, and every travel atong katulungan, and also our schedules that will also part of mathematics, and as well as every different patterns we've seen in our studies.
Okay, Mr. Amores, any observation from the video?
These were pretty presented, so it was already mentioned, but it is that it talks about mathematics is everywhere. As mentioned earlier, a specific example of this is the amount of the steps that we made every day, and it also talks about the measurements in their cooking, and the measurement when they are doing such things.
So aside from the topic, what can you say? What can you observe about the persons or the teacher? About the teacher.
Aside from mathematics, which is discussed in the video, so what did you observe about the teacher? How did they incorporate the lessons? Like, how did they, like, the mathematics, how did they somehow explain it to the students? What strategies did they use in order for the students to be engaged and motivated in the lessons? Especially that it is that the mathematics is somehow challenging to other students. So, like, based on the video, how did the teacher incorporate the lessons for the students to be engaged? Since you've been very serious about watching the video, right? It means we're interested. It means you've been catched by the video. So, like, what did you observe about the teacher? What strategies did she use or did he use in the video? What can you observe?
So it is very, it is very clear that the teacher used or incorporate technology in his teaching. Then he used also the like we can also see visual examples that in order for us to really understand those patterns, those measurement, we can really understand that mathematics is really can be seen everywhere.
Yes, so what you mean by like visual? So what can you say about the visual? So what kind of visuals have been presented in the video? What can you say about the
For
visual?
example, we've seen earlier about the different patterns, right? Like the fractals, the symmetry. So the picture there presented an example picture in order for us to understand
Yes,
what
what kind of
fractals.
example of picture? Like what kind of picture? Is it just a drawing or drawing of the spiral and fractals? What kind of example?
It is the picture like, for example, the grass. I think it is the grass.
So what do you call about the grass, those flowers, those plants?
It is an example of a pattern called fractals.
Yes, aside from the patterns and fractals, is there anyone here, any idea about like the materials or the pictures that have been used or the strategies that have been used by the teacher or instructor in the video? Yes, Mr. Picao.
The facilitator, the teacher use real world
Yes.
scenarios or
Yes.
examples. So to better relate ang lesson and mas mahigit to make the learning experience more engaging. So the teacher use contextualization.
Yes, very good, Mr. Picao. That's the answer that I've been looking for. Thank you as well, Mr. Insan, Mr. Amores. That was very a good point there. So, is there any other question?
I will.
Okay, another. Okay.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The bomb explodes in Japan. Miss Williams, how's the teacher comes the discussion and make the students engage? How's the teacher crafted the discussion that makes the students engage?
The information was well organized in the teacher's
Okay, from simple words. And how about the examples to make the students engage? How about Okay, very good.
Yes, aside from the real world scenarios, like what kind of real world scenarios are the examples here? Like, what can you say about the activity? Like, in each activity, we can actually incorporate real world scenarios, but what can you say about the real world scenarios that we incorporated in the activity? Is it appropriate? Is it appropriate for the lesson? Yes? Like, why do you think so?
Because in the discussion about patterns, for example, in spiral, we use objects which we can.
Okay, listen everyone. Listen to Miss Munoz. Okay.
They use objects which we can see and hold almost daily.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so any other idea or like you can add to Miss Mionna's answer about the like activity or the something how the teacher incorporate the lesson. Like what I can ask is the activity or the examples relevant or appropriate for the lesson? Is there any answer from anyone? Okay, we have to restart the game. Please come here in the middle.
Start the game. So, on the count of 3. 1, 3, 2,
accurate. So it is simply because it is related to real life, real life
Yes, so aside from the real life happenings, yeah, yes, it covers the real life happenings. However, are those real life happenings related to the topic? Is it appropriate to the mathematics, especially the factors, especially measurement? What did we say about the appropriateness of those activities? Examples.
in terms of appropriateness, I can say that it's really appropriate because we can really ensure that patterns is really everywhere. So simply because in this side, no, so makita na natin there's a lot of patterns. So making also the buildings or the structures of this also there's a lot of shapes. There's a lot of structures that we can.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Sanchez. That was very good point. So aside from like the advantages or the good points of those, like how the teacher incorporates their teaching and teaching about the lesson. So what like downwards can you somehow specify on how the teacher incorporates their? Is there any somehow like disadvantages about the teaching process of the teacher? Anyone? Okay, regroup at the middle. Okay, one.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The bomb explodes in Japan.
Please stand.
So, aside from the advantages about those activities, process or incorporating of the teaching or the lessons of the teacher, what disadvantages somehow like can you say or can you identify and how the teacher integrates this lesson?
So, in integrating the lessons, it is somehow disadvantage where there is a difficulty in finding real life examples to contextualize the lessons. Like the appropriateness of the real world example.
Yeah, so how does that like your answer imply? Like how
The identification of that is that the teacher will have difficulties in delivering the lesson if there is again difficulties in contextualizing the lesson to real world examples.
yes, thank you very much, Ms. Juban. So based on your answer, so it is actually very important the applying like contextualized ideas and examples such as what is being presented in the video, and also it is as a teacher it is also very hard to find examples or to somehow find examples of contextualization into your lesson. So that is also one of the somehow challenges in creating or incorporating your lesson to your students in order for them to get engaged and to become to make your lessons more relevant and meaningful. So now,
And now kindly gather in the middle. So to deal more with our topic for today, now let's now proceed with our next presenter, Mr. Lance. I'm giving you the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tama. About this Mr. Agamon. What a wonderful and what insightful activity. Now I would like you to gather in the middle. Now, as I have seen that you are enjoying our activity, now before we proceed to our topic, let us once more have an activity which is called a case analysis. I know most of you are already familiar with this kind of activity, right? Yes. So now I will give you the instructions. You will be given
given 3 minutes to analyze the given scenarios and will be asked questions afterwards. Now, here is the scenario. Please, everyone, please.
Grade 8 math class, Mr. Santos is introducing the topic of factoring the difference of two squares. To make the lesson relatable, he uses an example from sports. He asks the students to imagine two square-shaped basketball courts in a local gym, one with an area of 49 meters squared and another with 36 meters squared. Mr. Santos explains that the difference in the areas can be represented as 49 minus 36. He shows how to express this as 7 squared minus 6 squared, then factors it into 7 minus 6 to find the difference between the dimensions of the two courts. For hands-on activity, students are asked to come up with their own examples of the difference of two squares using objects or locations in their community, such as parks, spaces, tiles, or posters. They then display the mathematical process to the class.
Okay, since you already read the scenario, you will now be given 3 minutes to think and share or collaborate your ideas with one another, and afterwards I will ask you questions. Your 3 minutes starts now. It will be a surprise. Okay, your 3 minutes starts now.
Everyone is listening to the discussion. So you have to answer.
Okay, time's up, everyone. Now, before I ask you a question, let us make this much more interesting by incorporating an activity called Pick Pack Boom. Now, rather than asking you the number of, rather than taking the number and your gender, I will pluck oddly and evenly, in which if I pluck once, all males will stand up. Males. And when I tap twice, the females will stand up. You will be sitting down in order for it to much more. The one who will maybe stand up will be asked questions. Are you ready? Again, let's repeat. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, try. I will not speak the Pick Pack Boom Barkada. I will just laugh. Okay. Yes. There will be a 1 second interval before the class. Okay, another trial. Okay, this is the final time. Okay, here's our question. Now, based on the scenario that you have analyzed, how did Mr. Santos make the lesson relatable to his students?
I believe Mr. Santos made the lesson relatable for
his or her students based on the example or like materials that they receive through their community life. It's based like it's actually based. I believe that the scenario given is actually based on the normalization process. Okay, thank you, Mr. Edward. That is correct. Now, do you think that by incorporating some examples into the lesson, will the lesson much be more effective or not? Yes. Why? Because I believe there is type of which is part of the meeting pwede siya isunod na experience-based learning where students can experience or makita nila sila sa libro kasi mas experience. Okay, thank you, Mr. Breno. Yes, Mr. Breno is correct. Now, we need to contextualize, as we all know, mathematics is such a complex problem that drives the students to be bored during discussions. Now, there is a need for us to contextualize our lessons in order for it to be easily adapted to the students or for the students to easily learn the subject. Thank you, Mr. Breno. Begin natin sa. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
No, not very clear. Now, now, how does the example shows the importance of contextualizing our lessons, especially in mathematics?
I believe it is important so that students could effectively grasp the lessons from the teacher. The teacher could contextualize or let's say relate the lesson into a real world scenario or setting so that mas effective if the students could relate, just like if you are a student in case more into sports, then you will relate the topic into sports.
Okay,
So that way, students will grasp the lesson easily and much efficient.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Okay, you can now sit down. Okay, Mr. Eliza Jones. Based on what Mr. Eliza answered, do you support that he agrees that the importance of integration or the contextualization of the lesson is important? Why? Yes, thank you, Mr. Eloisa. Now, it is important that we contextualize the lesson in order for the students, as you stated, as Mr. Kara stated, to get a better grasp of the understanding. That is why we need to make it much more relevant to the students in order for them to learn easier and for them to be engaged in the lesson. Now, okay, for the last question. Mr. Jovan. Hey, Miss Jovan. Based on the given scenario that Mr. Carlos used the examples of the real contextualization such as referring to basketball courts. Now, what are the other real-world examples that can be used in order to explain the difference of those pairs? Volleyball court. Okay. Other. Why?
Because since it is mathematics and it involves the two squares, a difference of two squares, and I think that in the four corner of the classroom there are textiles or like tiles that could be used in the squares of a thing or a something.
Oh yes, Mr. Jovan is right. So, Mr. Anna is right. Now, the reason that it's important that we relate it to the real world is that not only does the court is the only example that we can integrate into the lesson, but there are other things that we can relate in order to make the teaching visible. And now, I will leave the floor to Mr. Derman.
But before that, kindly arrange your chairs. Please arrange your chairs properly before we start. 5, 4,
floor to Mr. Berman.
So, to continue, let's proceed to the scenario number 2. So, we are giving you another 3 minutes to analyze this scenario. The time start now. Last 2 minutes. Last one. Time's up.
Okay, time's up. So, Sir Hat, time is up. So the main problem of basic scenario is the teacher give an example which not everyone could relate. Specifically, the teacher has students who live in the city and some of her students live in what area who know about farming. The student live in the city didn't know about farming, so the example is not it's not good for everyone because not all of them understand what farming is.
So, Mr. Sanchez will agree what the answer of Mr. Morris.
Yes.
I guess I so basically that one of the problems that the student have is the difficulties for them to understand the concepts.
So, this to this scenario, does the teacher use strategy fairly to this message?
Yes.
So, we did. Sir Beno, answer my last question. So, what strategies will you utilize to ensure that students can fully relate to the topic? This conditioner.
Instead of like making them this their experience on a game one basic experience nalapa yung mga estudyante which wala pa sila experience, so my opinion is that gamitan sila ang experiential na itong kind of teaching with our students where the students are the ones na mo integrate or mag-integrate sa activity, and throughout that, nasa experience mag-gain, then throughout that experience, enhance sila pabuhaton na itong activity.
How about, okay, we now sit down. No. How about
I will ensure that my examples is relevant to the students themselves. I make sure that students themselves experience these kinds of scenarios, they see these things or the experience this kind of have this samples. So that's all I make sure that every student has an experience with giving samples.
Okay, thank you very much. How about Malami? Would you agree to Julio?
Yes, we are doing there because if we give an example to students, so we must make sure that the examples must be relevant or the students are related to that example. Say for example, for the situation of it's not about the fraction. So what we need to do is for make the students into is we need to have an example like say for example in a cake. So if we cut that cake or just like that, so mas makarelate ang students.
Okay, thank you very much. That is a good point. So, based on the two scenarios, so what can you observe about the two scenarios? So, the first scenario, what does the first scenario imply? Or what can you say about the first scenario? It is? It is? Yes, Mr. Yes, Lysander.
I think it is all about proper use of contextualization.
Yes, thank you very much. Lysander, how about the second scenario?
The difference between the two is that in the first scenario, the application or contextualization of the lesson is completely applied. However, in the scenario 2, it is good that he employed contextualization, however, it is not appropriate on the interest of the student.
Yes, thank you very much, Lysander. Now, how about Elisan? So, which do you think, which do you prefer about the two scenarios? So, if you will become the teacher, so what will you do in order to deliver your lesson to your students? As a teacher, what will you do? What strategies or methods will you utilize? Such as strategies, materials, and activities will you utilize in order to make your students engage and motivated?
As a future teacher, let's say as a teacher, I will go in scenario 1, which is because in teaching we must know we must teach equally for the students to relate, and also the students will learn equally. So in teaching we must prioritize the needs, or we must able to share them fairly without in giving examples or say for example in giving activity. We must know how to know our students what are the experience of them for them able to relate and apply the knowledge that they offer.
Yes, so very good, Mr. Elisan. So, no, as a teacher, it is important to incorporate activities or strategies that would help students relate those topics into their real life, so that they could use those knowledge in order to apply it into their real life situation. So, I'll give the floor to Mr. Haman.
Hip hip! Hooray! Okay. We continue. For our lesson objectives, at the end of this lesson, you, students, will be able to, can you read?
Analyze scenarios to identify effective teaching strategies for contextualized learning and provide appropriate recommendations to improve lesson relevance and inclusivity. Collaboratively analyze and contextualize lesson scenarios, effectively integrating teaching strategies, materials, and examples that address
Okay, thank you. Okay, another activity. So the class will be divided into 3 groups. Each group will be assigned a specific questions to work on based on the given handout. So I'll have 3 handouts here, and you will carefully read and analyze the handouts I will provide later, and you will identify what's being asked and list down all the important points related to the questions assigned to your group. Each group will be given 3 minutes to discuss and write down your answer, and once the time is up, the first group will present their output, and each group will take turns presenting their answer in front of the class. So always starting count 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, for the group 1 here, and the group 2 here, and group 3 here. Your 3 minutes starts now. Okay, time is up. Where's the group 1? Anyone from the group? There's a question. What consideration have you taken in approaching the given scenario or the given handouts? What consideration have you taken in approaching? What consideration you have taken in approaching tamang gihatag na provided handouts?
The thing that I need to consider when based on this question is the students. I think the students' experience itself, since I make sure that to provide engagement to the students, to make sure that all the topics are relevant to the students, and also to provide the activities to make sure that everyone has a freedom to is included in the class and no one left behind. So the accessibility, I make sure that all materials is included and meet the standard of a student.
Okay, you mentioned earlier in materials. So, what materials did you utilize in your lesson, and how these materials affect the flow of your discussion?
From the materials, materials, I guess one factor is the PowerPoint itself. PowerPoint it can provide visual representation of your topic since students is what visual spatial. Every student has a visual spatial intelligences. So by giving a graphical image so that students will can easily learn or engage on the activity.
Okay. Do you think that the materials you stated are suitable for any activities that you want to apply or conduct, or I mean the lessons? Do you think that you mentioned that the materials? Do you think the materials suitable for any activities or the lessons that you apply?
Depending on the subject, it's because some subject doesn't require images. For example, it's mathematics. Also, mathematics requires you writing in the board, and other topics also has more likely dependent with graphical or images because it can provide efficient teaching or statistics.
Okay, thank you so much, Radian. Can I have Mr. Bueno? So, based on the answer of your teammates, so have you considered specific strategies or teaching methods to address students' needs?
Yes, sir. Like we say, so first try to yes, I like to handle different needs of our different diverse needs of our students. I will first like something like first know them or something like what are the most common mga makita that can be observed in their surroundings. And through that and then community na makita, then I will try to integrate it into my lesson plan where they can reflect on the given example that then start to learn.
Okay, thank you so much. Group 1. Now we'll proceed to Group 2.
Okay, so where's the Group 2? Okay, so Group 2, I will ask you the same questions now. So, my first question, Ms. Rana, my question is that what are the considerations have you taken in approaching to the given scenario?
So the given scenario to us is how we should implement or tailor a lesson that would ensure inclusivity, accessibility, and engagement between students, and how can we make the appropriate, how can we meet the diverse needs of the learners. So we have taken here is first is to observe or to assess the students in order for us to know the every students, and with that we will be able to also know the individual needs. And also we also have here the personalized learning is considering that the learners are diverse or that they have individual needs, then it is important for us also to personalize their learning, as well as in order for us to cater those diverse learners, we also put here the materials that could be used, such as DVD, images, videos, audio, that could cater the wonderful intelligence that the students may have.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Rana. So since you've answered already all the materials that you will be used for your students, now say for example that you will be the teacher for that specific student, the diverse with students with diverse learning needs. So, Mr. Amores, can you please stand? Your question is that since Ms. Rana already said all the materials that you will be utilized in catering those your students' needs. So what are the other materials that you will be utilized for your students? Yes.
or to cater the different learning needs of the students is the real world materials such as like what we've seen earlier in the video, use the real materials such as grass, windmills, and more.
Okay, so thank you. No? So, with that material, is that suitable for your students?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Malawi, can you please stand? Your question is that, have you considered specific strategies since materials of the Kenya for you, for you as a teacher educator, no, for you to teach your students, will you consider specific strategies or teaching methods to address your students' needs? Yes. Will you use the specific, will you consider specific strategies or teaching methods?
Consider lang siya.
So, sige.
As a future educator, I will consider specific strategies to personalize the learning and the contextualize learning of the students because if we use specific strategies, we can directly instruct students in order for them to be easily guided and easily learn from them to be guided.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Laveno. Okay, so Mr. Shugara, can you please stand? Your question is that, based on your groupmate's answer now, how will you interpret those consideration of materials, teaching strategies, and teaching methods? How will you interpret those answers?
So those, if we use those materials and strategies, our students will be able to learn, learn and touch up those topics that so it is effective to implement lessons tailored to the students.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Shugara. So for the next group, I will ask you some questions now. Sige. Kamu na pala? Okay, Mr. Elisan, ikaw na. Same question lang yan. What considerations have you taken in approaching the given scenario? What considerations?
So, in our scenario, how can teacher effectively design and implement a lesson tailored to students' disabilities, ensuring inclusivity, accessibility, and education? So, for having fairness with the other students, we should consider those students with disabilities, like for example, those students like blind, deaf, and also
Okay, so as a future educator, no, then you will be cater those kinds of students. So what would be the proper materials that you will use to teach those type of students?
okay, for instance, you have, I have a students with disabilities, for example, he or she is a deaf. As a teacher, I can provide visual materials for them, or for them able to learn and they are not left behind their fellow students. That is one example of accessibility among the students.
So do you think it is suitable for your students? Okay, so thank you. Mr. Arabada, can you please
strategy na ko is I will identify the specific disabilities of that students. For example, they are has disability, kumpul sa, so I will not give activity that psychomotor which is they can related sa iya, hindi siya makapag-kumpul. Also, for him is listen said, kaya naman yung plan. So I said also the flight, and I will yoyo na lang ako. I believe that different students has a different learning style, which is some students they learn by reading, some students learn by seeing, and some of the students learn by kaya hindi mo lang niya.
Okay, so thank you for your answer, Mr. Balama. Okay, so Mr. Rogero, can you please step? Your question is that how will you interpret those answers from your
To wrap things up, indeed, it is a good, great teacher that she can tailor such learning strategies to cater the diverse needs of the students. So, to generalize our idea, we are referring to what the trend now, which is the personalized learning, in which the teacher tailors or customizes the learning strategies in order for some students, or should I say diverse students, especially with the disability, students with disabilities, to be included in the classroom. So with personalized learning, we can promote it.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Rogero, for your answer. So for reaching our students with different diverse needs, it is very important to consider the strategies, the materials, and the teaching methods. Okay, so for the next, I will give the floor to the next facility.
Okay, to sum it all up, contextualization refers to the educational process of relating of control. Teachers use the available materials, activities, interests, and issues and needs from the learner's life. Without students learn students learn language skills by teaching the skills using the same or the different skills.